they are displaying, so they are very happy that they can find, okay, this is the method what we have to do and we have to find the solution. So students also feeling happy, and we felt very easy to explain about them by seeing the display.
There are wonderful features in Class Sathi, like creating our own MCQs using Class Sathi Genie. Detailed reports of every student's performances, helping us to identify where they need support. And as a teacher, learning new technology makes me feel empowered. Class Sathi was a very, very interactive and fun learning experience for me. I really enjoyed Class Sathi. It was not like learning at all. I felt like I was playing.
A wonderful, wonderful platform regarding excelling our marks.
I love Class Sathi, and also I have Class Sathi app to revise and prepare for my test. In school, I have teachers, and at home, I have Sathi tutor.
And I saw our children how they are using. I saw our teachers how they are using this Class Sathi clickers. So every children, after giving that training, very much interested to do that answer.
So here is the joy of learning. Children learn better when they are introduced with the joy of learning. So when they are happy to learn, the content is delivered to the maximum. And teachers also find it very convenient to use this methodology of teaching to restate or to recap the concepts. So the concepts are delivered appropriately, and the teacher understands where the concept has missed out and where she has to reteach. So here comes a very good, you can say a very good reflection for the teacher as well as for the students. Class Sathi enables the teachers to understand the learning gaps of the students, and so they can reteach the concept, and the slow learner understands where he is lagging behind, and the higher achiever understands where he needs to catch up to get that high point. So here it benefits the students as well as the teacher. At this introduction of Class Sathi at our school, we have a coordinator like who is in charge of ensuring that every teacher uses this Class Sathi in the class. And so this is properly delivered to every class right from 6th standard to 10th standard. So each and every child plays a role in it as well as the teachers. So when this is delivered in an appropriate manner, the results are displayed and parents are able to view where the child stands. As a principal or a chairman of the school, we can view what the teachers are doing or what the students are doing with the report which Class Sathi submits to us. It has truly been a blessing for us. We have witnessed our classrooms transform into happier and more dynamic spaces. Students eagerly look forward to Class Sathi sessions every week.
How was the video? I hope all of you enjoyed watching a quick glimpse of what Class Sathi is. So yes, now it's time for us to get started with the session. So I'm sure before I do that, I'm sure all of you here know what Class Sathi is all about. So I will do a quick introduction about Class Sathi. Developed by TagHive, a Samsung spin-off company, is an innovative edtech solution designed to transform the educational landscape through a seamless combination of hardware, software, content, and Ranjana, can you mute all the participants? Yes. So our objective here is to enhance classroom engagement, streamline assessments, and personalize learning for students globally. Class Sathi leverages artificial intelligence to offer personalized learning paths, real-time performance analytics, and adaptive feedback, ensuring that each student receives the attention and support they need. Trusted by 8,000 plus classrooms worldwide, making a significant impact in diverse educational settings. With this introduction, I would like to get started with today's session. In today's session, we will focus on the topic interactive learning, making science fun and accessible. Here, we will today explore different ways of how we can bring science to life in our classrooms. Now, to lead the session, I have Mr. Harish Kumar, AM, Vice Principal of Shastri High School, Hunsur. Sir, very warm welcome and namaste to you. My name is Vijay Lakshmi, and I lead marketing for Tag Hive Class Saathi. I also have my colleagues with me today, Ms. Ranjana Sahu and Ms. Aishwarya. So I'm sure all of you know Ms. Aishwarya, right? Right. So quick introduction about Mr. Harish. Mr. Harish brings nearly 13 years of industry experience and a strong academic background with an MSc in environmental science and a bachelor's in chemistry. Passionate about science, particularly biology and zoology, he has actively engaged in enhancing school education. Implementing Class Saathi has significantly supported his efforts in driving educational improvements. And as we dive into the session, we will unfold all his secrets, how he was actually able to bring these improvements into his classrooms. We will also have Mr. Dilip MS. Welcome to you. Namaste to you as well. So who's the science facilitator? Namaste, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, Mr. Dilip MS is the science facilitator at Shastri School, who would also be contributing to the session as well. Well, very happy to have both of you with us today, sir. A warm welcome to both of you. A few quick things before we begin the session. I request all the participants to keep themselves on mute and please stay with us until the end of the session. We will also have a question and answer, a Q&A right after the session is over. So please hold back your questions till the end. I would also want to let you all know that the session has been live streamed on our Facebook channel. So I request all of you to go to Facebook, like Class Saathi's page, and share the session with on your timeline with your connections as well. So without a further ado, I would like you to take over, sir, from here.
Yes, ma'am. I hope I can share my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Like for next 5-10 minutes, school related noise will be you are hearing because I'm in a school.
No problem.
Yeah. So please do bear with me regarding that. So other than that, everything is fine. And yeah, so is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is visible.
Like, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So one brief thing I would like to one thing which I would like to brief here is like my expertise of area is from mathematics and the physics. So that Dilip sir's expertise is in biology and chemistry. That is also there for audience. I would like to clarify this one. Like there was one misconception happened in between the conversation with the team. That's the only one thing. Like your time will be for sure. You'll learn definitely something new from both of us, at least one thing for sure, so that you'll value the time you are spending here.
Sure, sure. All of us are looking forward to it.
Yes, ma'am. Like innovative techniques for teaching a science is a topic I'm taking. So first I would like to highlight here, like, is this a thing innovative is so difficult to understand, a question mark. So there are the types of innovations comes here, like, and I have a actual problem. And problem is not to be taken in a negative sense. There is a present condition and there is a demand, a requirement of like future condition. To fill the gap, I need some material so that will solve my problem and fill the gap and it will help me. Let me take an example. Like we use a toothbrush for brushing our teeth, right? And there is also there are some marks given at the back of the toothbrush, like for a tongue cleaner, it can also act like a tongue cleaner. Someone else have thought it. Okay, so like why I should use a two things? One thing can do the both. So there comes like I'm thinking in a way that can I integrate both and come with some other material? So exactly like, am I teaching the science in a way which can improve further the students' understanding in a small amount of time? That is also a kind of a problem we face. So the techniques we use over a period of time will develop, and the apps and the forms like Class Sati will also be help us to conduct it in a very smooth manner as we proceed further. Yeah. So spark the curiosity with question-based learning. So we all know that we teacher will definitely ask a question for sure. But can we choose a question which spark the curiosity, which is very much important? Like there are three questions I have chosen. They're like open-ended questions, application-based questions, and reflective questions. For example, let me take an example here from the chapter like motion of class 9th. Or an example of an optics, or the chapter of light from class 10. If I take an optics like chapter 10, in that to be light reflection, if I use the term like, then the magnification value of a particular image is -2. What does it indicate? Can I completely, one second. Okay, can I completely say the history of the lens and the position of the object is a question? Can I do that? Okay, so this is a question comes under which question? It's an application. Then like I'm going in a backward. So the magnification value is -2. The science teachers can better understand this one. So now how application based I can go with this here? So with the just value of -2, what all other things can I derive? Here, the minus indicates it's a real and inverted. And here the value 2 says that it is greater than the object. That means the object position should be beyond C. And image then, so the image should be beyond C. Then object should be the between C and F. The lens, the mirror, if I am going to use a reflection, the mirror must be of concave. So the question is like the CBS will come with a competency based question. So that type of questions, how we are going to train our students matters a lot. So there comes an innovation, like how to make them to come to this level so that with that one question, they could able to think on it a lot. There comes a reflective questions. So where we could also ask the particular child could have, if he or she is going to fail to answer this question, maybe he or she may got like real and inverted, they got the object between C and F and beyond C, the image cannot be answered. In that case, can we think of like why make the child to think why you are not able to contribute to this part of a question? So now child will think where I am lagging here. So this will also help us to know, make the child to understand where they should focus and where they should be focusing, which will also help us a lot. So that's another thing here. Next, So there is a very good demand for the competency-based performance of a student. There comes an hands-on experimentation is very much important. So this will help us to engage the students to get a very good clarity of the concepts. Here, if I would like to take an example of a motion object, motion chapter of class 9. So if I want to explain him about Newton's third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Can we use like simple examples like a chair with the wheels at the bottom? Okay, the two persons who are sitting on a chair. So, okay, so two persons are sitting here. So assume that two persons are sitting here and they are going to push each other. Or there is a person here, he is going to be sitting and still, then this person will push him. The moment his legs lifted and pushing, you can clearly see that the other person is pushed back, though the person who has pushed. Can we give this an example which is clearly to them that to make them to think why you have been pushed back? Who pushed you back? Can we give an example like this and make them to do an hands-on experiment, which is handy? They can do it. So such kind of a simple experiments. So like with our own daily life of practice, we can definitely contribute. That is what my stake is here. And so move on to the next part. Yeah, so bringing science to the life, which is very much important. The science is around us. Are we using it? That examples at the best. What we do in our school is like, we'll finish up the hands-on experiment very fast, like we'll give the students to have a first-hand experimentation and then experience, and we'll go with the simple principles and in a better manner to make them to understand. With that, we'll definitely, for example, like if we are going to take a Newton's first law itself, I'm holding a cup of tea and it is filled to the brim, and while walking, I'll have to walk very carefully. Why? This is an experience they have. We need to relate that experiment to the concept of daily life. Okay, why the particular pen have a grip over the front? Why the lid of any bottle have a grooves end guard? Like if you go with the lid here, and why exactly that grooves are there? What is the purpose of it? Why, what, like, was that done to a fancying thing to market it well, or the design carries any significant value in terms of a science? So there comes a part of friction. So holding a grip. So we need to link that to their understanding so that they can definitely bring a life to their understanding and they'll definitely enjoy it for sure. So guiding the exploration, which is very, very much important. If we are not guiding them, they will be just doing an experimentation and enjoying. They won't relate it to the concept which is required. As there is a, like in a discovery method, there is a caution given. All the person who is going to involve in discovery learning cannot be assured that they're going to construct the knowledge. Not possible. They may or may not. It depends on the guidance, how we are going to facilitate, how we are going to make them to understand how it should be and how it could be. And we need to guide them as a coach, which is very much important. So like what I'm sharing so far, like what I've shared so far, is it making sense? Or just I'm just going on my own? Can I get one or two responses here, like just to reflect how I am going? Quick responses.
Well, I really appreciate, sir, your points, about the innovative teaching and sparking curiosity in students. I think it's very, very important, to focus on real world applications and, encourage students to ask why. I think that's, this approach really makes learning engaging, and it helps, students thrive in today's fast-paced world. And bringing science to life through practical experiments, I think not only makes learning more exciting, I think it also helps students grasp the concepts, like the complex concepts in a more tangible way. I also agree with your approach, of guiding students to discover and experiment, on their own. I think that point is fantastic, because it empowers them to take charge of their learning, and it actually fosters, a deeper and more, personal understanding of the material of whatever they're learning. So I think I totally agree with. It makes a lot of sense, and I think these are the things that we are learning so far, and I'm sure all the teachers who are in this meeting room are also feeling the same.
Yeah, so like here I would like to introduce the one thing, like nowadays we are even in the habit formation also we are discussing about this curve, exponential growth. Initially, you cannot get the growth as we expected in a linear growth. So not expected. But when it comes to the part of this exponential growth, initially might not have seen like very profound improvements, but it is a foundation is laid down. As like a child is going to learn to immerse in the concept, and once that concept is going to get immersed, and now it is a time for the child to make it to think, to apply it to the real world application and the thing, and to make them to see that where exactly they should be finding this application, so that someone might have come across some problem. To solve the problem, he or she might have thought and come up with its own solutions. We call it as an innovations because it has solved the many problems. So that kind of a thing, like students will really build the competency in such a way that they'll definitely enjoy the make the learning of a science in itself in very beautiful manner. And that is also there. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that feedback.
Definitely, definitely. I totally agree with you, sir.
Yeah. So there is a one more interesting thing, like translating science into the mathematical language. Here I would like to take like a example of a physics. Yes, ma'am. Anuradha, ma'am, I do agree with you. Each step of problem expands in a holistic learning. Definitely, ma'am. Sure, sure, sure. So for this slide, break down the problem into like steps and visualize the problem and translate the statements into symbols. Here I would like to take an example of one second. Yeah, so here I'd like to take an example of again textbook example only, so that everyone can relate to it. Yeah. So is the screen visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yeah. One second. Like, yeah. So here the answer is very much clear that they have explained. So I would like to take this as an example, like how I'll take this as an opportunity for me to make the student to like go with a like use it for the thinking purpose. So for example, I have told like translating. So here, let me take an example here, like, yeah. So here, the moment I heard a convex mirror used, so immediately what I'll say the child, so okay, the convex mirror, you understood. And view on an automobile as an radius of curvature 3 meter. If a bus is located at 5 meter from this mirror, find the position, nature, and size of the image. This is a question. So first, I'll promote like how to convert from each concepts to a symbolic form and how to translate it into the language of mathematics. So let me take an example here, like this as an example. The moment I have told like convex mirror used, I would like to make them to draw a rough diagram. And the moment, so introduce the Cartesian plane. That's the second thing. And immediately you make a position of focal point and center of curvature. So this is the first point. A convex mirror used for rare wave, that is finished. The automobile has a radius of curvature. Now the radius of curvature will be of this one. R is equal to 3 meters. Is that clear? If a bus is located at 5 meters, then the radius of curvature indicates that I need to focus on the focal length also. So F will be 3 by 2, and I should be here clear with, as the sign convention comes, the symbol should get a plus or minus. It should get a plus because it's on the right side. And the object is situated at the 5 meter. The object is here. It is 5 meter. Then the object should distance should be taken as minus 5 meter. And with these informations, I have got F, I have got U, I have got, then I need to find the position of the image, V is equal to question mark. And nature, I should find the nature that it is real or inverted, or virtual or real. And size means a magnification also should be known. So now with the insight the child is going to gather, they can clearly tell that the image formation in front of a convex mirror should come between P and F only. And that should be then image position will be less than 1.5 meter. And these are the insights before getting into the problem solution itself, they have an insights here. And this will definitely help them. And this is one such example for the slide which I have chosen. Yeah. So I'm back on this slide. Creating an engaging learning environment. So multimedia enhancement. So here I'd like to invite Mr. Dilip sir to contribute to this particular part of the slide. Sir.
So very good evening to everyone and all. I'm Dilip, working in Shastri since from 13 years. So are we all passionate towards science? That's a big question. If you are not passionate, so it is not better not to join this profession. So creating engagement learning environment. So today, why most of the students are facing difficulty in learning? The main reason is we are not giving practical experience for the students.
Definitely, sir. I totally agree with the point that you've made. I think without the passion towards the subject, I don't think we would be able to make any progress in that.
Yes.
Definitely, sir.
So that's why what's my intention? I'm a biology teacher, so I used to teach in a different way, where most of the students will go with a practical experience, like dissecting heart, so dissecting lungs. So because once they touch, they're going to feel a lot. So how it works, what is the features in that? So why it is important for our body like that? So that's why I'm taking this part, because today most of the teachers, they are not teaching skills for the students. So in what way? For example, they just go with the theoretical way of teaching. So that's why most of the students, if they come to the exam point of view, they are getting failures in mathematics as well as science. So I think in your schools also you're facing the same problems or difficulties. So another way of teaching skills in a different way by using multimedia. So I think ma'am has already showcased the things about usage of My Sati. So we also introduced My Sati, My Class Sati app in our school, where most of the students are participating very actively in the class. So because, for example, see, students who are having hesitations, who have fear to answer for, even though they know the answer, they feel shy to answer. So in such case, this My Class Sati app is more useful for the students. So that's why we are implemented that My Class Sati app in our school, and we are using in WISE. So that is one of the thing I can tell you. So next, collaborative experience. So for example, what we are doing in our school, we are giving topics to students. We are making groups and we are giving topics to the students, and they are doing PowerPoint presentation. And in group, they are discussing and they are presenting the topics. So what will happen when we going to collaborate all such things? So what will happen? Students will learn a lot of skills. So for example, community sharing of what is that knowledge, communicating skills, lot of things they are experiencing in our schools. So that's why even every year you might be seeing in social medias, our school students will get a lot of prizes by participating in various competitions. So that's why collaborative experience, collaborative learning, so it's very useful for the students to learn in the classrooms. So that's all. And also about My Sati is one of the best tool. Again, I'm telling because, for example, where we can keep a competition in the classroom among students itself. So that's why it is better to use some social medias like some educational apps. So where students can enrich their knowledge. So where we can create a beautiful life for the students. So with the help of by using these tools. So thank you for giving the opportunity. So thank you. Over to Arish. Thank you. Ma'am. Okay.
Thank you, Dilip, for your contribution to the slides. I'll be moving further. So, leveraging the real world connections. So, like, under the guidance of our academic director, we are also planning to come up with real world connections in terms of building a very support of AI. So there are me and Dilip are both use ChatGPT to build some case studies where we'll also tweak. We'll write the prompts also, so to get a very good case studies. And we'll also again take the guidance of sir along with that, and we'll also frame and reframe and I'll refine them to the level of where the students will get the very good study material, so that they can think, they can come with a kind of a reflection. They will be back with lots of confusions and clarities. That is a material for us to teach and bring a clarity furthermore. In the meanwhile, as teacher is also a learner, we'll also learn like how to handle the such situations, and that is also helping a lot. That is an additional thing. So inspiring examples like we, as I've already told, like we use a ChatGPT to build the like some of the case studies where we'll use them in our like an assignment questions to the students, where that will help them to come with lots of thinking on that, which is like exactly like they have done the warm up and the brain is now hunger to receive the come up with that one kind of a clarity they'll be having, little confusions will also be there, some also be there. Now we are going to add on to that. So like we'll explore, make them to work on by contributing towards the question through the questions to their thinking and ignite their and process their thinking furthermore and come to the conclusion, and they'll find the answer. That by that way they'll definitely do a beautiful like come back with that answer. They'll really feel excited towards that. That is also there. Yeah, fostering connections, like I'd like to hear highlight. I don't know how many of you knowing solo taxonomy. So solo taxonomy is a like trendy thing, which is like it comes with very interesting thing. Like I know nothing of the concept. I know one concept. I know multiple concepts. This is how they'll indicate. So now I know the multiple concept. I know the connections also. And I know multiple concept. I know also together. I know how to clear. So this will help us to foster the connection. For example, so let me take an example of a motion here, and an object, like an object, a person is going in a circular track of a radius 7 meters. Okay, he has reached a halfway. Then find his displacement. This actually this question belongs to the science, but there is an opportunity and scope for also to link it with the mathematics. So halfway means he has reached a half way, like perimeters complete in the half. Then he'll be exactly at the diagonally opposite to the point where there will be a chord which is of highest length, which is of diameter, and the displacement should be of 14 meters. This is what they should think here in extended abstract. We call this stage, where child could relate to two domain. One is of mathematics, another one is of physics, to integrate and come up with the answer. And this will be going to contribute to their thinking of very complex skills, so that the competency will be of highest grade. This is beauty of connecting to the real world. If we are going to make them to go through only a concept to an extent of remembering and an understanding level, we cannot foster their next level of thinking. That is also there. Next. So tools and resources for teachers, simulation platform. So like we can use, like that is one of the platforms like Classati for conducting a quiz, and also like simulation platforms like I use like one second. So I use PHET simulators. So this simulator I use for conducting an experiment and make the students to sense the experiment, and they can go with the conducting a, like maybe I cannot replace the real life, the touch and actual holding the instrument and performing the experiment, but at least I can come to and close to that through the simulators. That will help us. And like experimentations and experimenting guides and question banks will also play a major role here. So as and then the like a time constraint is there, I would like to also participate in a Q&A so that I would like to take 1 or 2 questions so that I can also contribute to that. So I'll quickly go through the slides and finish it up.
So we have 10 more minutes. You can do it in your pace. That's fine.
Yes, then it's fine then.
Sure.
Then I'd like to go with one more sharing. So there is a PHET simulator. I would like to show that, like how we can conduct some of the experiments which is going to, like, yeah, we are going to simulate there. Then, but so that will definitely help them to think. So I would like to take one such example to that. So let me connect it to that. Yeah, if you see here, so I'm getting this resistors here. So this is a PHET simulator. I'm going to connect these are the connecting wires here. I'm trying to get the one simple circuit here. And so let me quickly build that circuit. Yeah. The circuit is on. Like if I'm going to connect, there's an voltmeter here. It shows an voltage. And there's an ammeter here. I'll be explaining like previously I have explained all these things, assume that. So then I'll be telling like, let me take this voltage off and I'll be taking the currents to the 10 volts. Switch on. So there is a like, now this current is of 1 amps. What is the voltage here? The voltage here is of a 10 volts. So let me record the data here. So like a simple experiment kind of a thing and simulating here. So record the data, like the current I'm changing and the voltage. So current is 10 amps, then the voltage, so sorry, current is 1 amps. Voltage is 10 volt. Okay. So then let me increase the current to 2 amps. Okay. So then when current is 2 amps, the voltage is 20. And let me increase the voltage further here. Assuming that this portion is not visible to the students. Okay. Now 30. So like the voltage is now increased. Now current is of 3 amps and the voltage is of 30 amps. So if I go further here to plot a graph, which is a data given here. So let me take here. And here is a current and here is a voltage. Let me declare a scale that. So here, so x-axis is equal to 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. That is 1 amps. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And here, again, you can take like 10, 20, and 30. So here in y-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 1 volt. So I'm just rough sketch I'm going. If I'm going to plot here, I'm going to get one line here. So I'll make the child to think like, why I've got a line? After connecting these dots, I'm getting a line here. What does it indicate? And this clearly indicates that the current is directly proportional to voltage, or the voltage is directly proportional to current. So that shows that this line shows that it is a linear relationship with the current and the voltage. And this discussion continues further and the derivation of the formula. And this is how we carry the class here. So that the students can think and using simulations. And there is background questions will be there for sure to foster their thinking and guide them. As I've already mentioned, like even then that they are doing an experiment, if we are not going to guide them, make them to think, make them to reason out, we are not going to contribute much in that way. Yeah, so next. Cultivate curiosity, which is very much important. Don't let them to solve the questions in one day itself. Allow them to think over it and think, come up with like guiding them. So gradually they'll be used to that and they'll definitely do the best. And definitely we should build their confidence. So how I like here we build a confidence, like we tell that like Baba, don't come with the internet answer or someone else reference book answer. Come with your answer. Maybe right, maybe wrong, doesn't matter. It should be your answer because that answer is a output or a byproduct of their own thinking process, which is very much important because that will help us to know where exactly they are doing better, where exactly they are lagging, and that helps us to surface out their own errors, which will help us to see and check and work on it, which is also help us a lot. Like inspire wonder. Like things around us are very interesting. If we are going to link around, we can definitely contribute many more things. Definitely for sure. For example, so like this is an example from a classroom. There is a like box we have kept, and there are some marbles there. So I'm not going to put the hands and take the marble, but what I'll do is I'll give a push and capture the marbles. I'm going to tell which law I'm using it here. The moment I've applied the force for sure, the moment make the marbles to move through the box, and the moment I stop the box to move, but marbles are moving, Newton's first law. Like they have seen, but the only thing is like, yeah, is it true, right? Like what you are seeing, what you are undergoing, that is exactly helping you to create the wonders. So we here is like interactive Q&A sessions, like engage with educators, address questions and collaborative learning. We here like team of teachers, we work together and every weekend or like on Saturdays or maybe fortnightly, we'll definitely sit with other colleagues here, other like primary teachers and the college teachers, and we'll also try to think like how best we can contribute to the learning of a science here or per se like any other subject here. So like how best we can do. So what is the expectation from the PU, from the from high school, what we expect high school from the primary, and the interactions will be of very much fruitful. And that will also help us food for thought and thinking and come up with like some interesting things for sure. And I hope like these are the key takeaways, like importance of engaging interactive science and strategies for fostering critical thinking and problem solving. Hands-on experiments I have explained. So experiment with a new question-based learning techniques, more interactive activities and simulations, explore available resources and tools to enhance the lessons. Here I reached the Q&A. Yes.
Yes. What an insightful session, Harish sir. Yes, so we are open for Q&A. If any of you have any questions, relating to the session today, I would request you all to, post it in the chat box, and we will take it up one by one. You can also share your thoughts about the session. How did you feel the session was? And I request all the participants to please put yourselves on mute. Ranjana, please mute. Yes. Any questions, any of you? You can also share your feedback in the chat box. All right, so we have one question. Do we have case study questions available in Class Sathi Bank? Okay, so any questions related to Class Sathi, we will take it separately. Miss Aishwarya or I will take it separately, ma'am, Anuradha ma'am. But any questions that are related to the session today, specifically, you can ask in the chat box. You can also share your feedback about this session. How did you all feel the session? Are you all, following the strategies that Mr. Harish just shared? All the science teachers in the room. The session was wonderful. The points were discussed well with suitable examples. Wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much. Very useful. It's okay, Subbarao sir, if you're late, but I don't, you at least, caught up with the last few slides, I'm sure. Yes, anybody else who wants to share your feedback or have any questions about the session? All right. So just to wrap up, let's remember that science is all around us, and teaching it with passion, I think, makes a lot of difference. As sir mentioned, that, by incorporating hands-on experiences, connecting lessons to real-life situations, and using inspiring examples, we can make science truly memorable for students. What they see and experience will actually stay with them, for longer than what they simply read, right? So do you agree with me, Harish, sir? Am I right? Sir, you are on mute.
Yeah, so like science is all around us. So pretty exciting thing is like theory to practical observation. If we are going to make the students link to that, and they will definitely create wonders. They'll definitely work on it for sure.
Definitely, sir. 100%. I am with you on this.
Restricting them only to the definitions and the concepts, that should not be a fair idea. Like nowadays, there is a booming concept like flipped classroom, where the classroom transactions, what they're going to do, they will be done in home. They'll come for the class for a higher order thinking question discussions, where definitely they could able to relate that. So more than a definition, how I am going to relate. For example, already I have shared an example. No, the voltage and the current are related. How they are related? Who knows that they are related linearly? There is a very interesting thing. There comes a concept of a resistance, which is an intrinsic property of a resistors. There comes a factor of temperature. There is an ohmic device we call. At a particular temperature, it acts. If a temperature increase, the changes, property changes. We call them non-ohmic devices. See, then like thinking, like fostering to the next level of thinking. If you are just giving a relationship like V is directly proportional to I, then how that V is directly proportional to I looks in a graph, and why are taking the graph support here? Many interlinks are there. If you are going to highlight it and make them to think, they'll definitely create wonders for sure. That's what my personal experience is.
Ranjana, please mute Ms. Ramya. Definitely, sir. I think, you've covered all the points that are essential, not just to be a science teacher, I feel. I think, to teach any subject for that matter, I think all of these points are relatable. I think for everything, connecting it to real life experience and, getting hands-on about that particular concept, I think, make students, learn that particular concept for life and not just for, the exams. And I think in today's world, students being extraordinary, right? Not, whatever is there in the books, reading that and giving exams and all of that is a normal routine, right? But if students wish to be different or want to be out of the box, I think learning things differently and learning it for life is very, very essential. Sir, a big thank you.
One more thing is like nowadays there is a boom of AI.
AI.
And most of the jobs, it is a next level of industrial revolution. And each industrial revolution will replace a particular set of jobs, and there is a new set of jobs will come. That definitely the student should be in a level to handle the AI to the next level, so that most of the memory part will be taken care. But now we need to make the student to think how to handle the AI and get the best results, rather than just looking into that. That the competencies should be built, because we need to build them for the future, not for the present. So with that competency, if you are going to make them to think, will definitely work at the best, because the phase they are learning, the era where they are living, so kind of a information era they are in, the technological boom which is happening. There is a saying if you are going to marry the technology of today, you will be widow by weekend. So in that way, just sticking on them to only to the particular area of remembering and understanding, not enough. They should work at the background level and then come here for the next level of higher order thinking questions. They'll definitely contribute a lot to it.
Definitely. I think it's important to consider how, we're preparing students for an AI-driven world. I think AI has, I wouldn't say it's becoming, I think it's already become an integral part of many fields. And, it's equipping students with skills to understand and, work with, AI is very, very crucial in today's time. I think, integrating AI into our teaching methods and also students, encouraging students to explore its possibilities. We would be preparing them not only to navigate, but also to, thrive in a future where AI is a key player. That is something that we need to, keep in mind, that AI is the key player going forward. I totally agree with. So I think I will not forget the quote that you just said, that if you marry
technology.
Technology, widow in the weekend. Yeah. I think that's going to linger in my mind for a longer time now. So yes, that's definitely true. So I think there are no more questions from our participants. So I think we can close the session. So before that, a big thank you to you, Harish sir and Dilip sir, for sharing your insights and knowledge with our audience today. Thank you all the participants as well who joined us today. And I hope, all of you will implement these learnings and strategies in your classrooms going forward. I'm sure all of you are using Classati. If anybody here would want to know more about Classati, or you want to get a demo for your school, please feel free to reach out to us. You can write to us at sati@taghype.com, or you can visit our website and you will find a way to reach out to us. So I'm looking forward to hearing back from all the audiences today. And I hope the session was insightful. I really enjoyed it. Though, I'm not a very, what do you say, a science-friendly student, never been a science-friendly student, but yes, I think, making students curious about and wonder about, why is this happening? What is happening? What is happening around us? Because science is all around us, right? So I think that's very, very essential in today's time as well. So I hope the session was insightful and helpful for all of you today who just joined us.
I'd like to add one more thing here, like
Yes, sir. I
the
was just about to ask you any closing statement from you before we close on.
so like that here I should not forget my previous organization is called the SVYM, Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement, where I learned lot many things about the science and the teaching of a science. Such a great organization where I have spent quite a lot, like 10 years of the time there. There they have a science exploratory park also. There I was a resource person there. Okay, so and then I also orienting the government school students also, then our school students and private school students. When they are going to come to that park, this is an experience of mine that come to the park, they'll come up with a playway method mind. Once they are going to be like guided with how should do the experiment and how to handle the equipments, how to draw the concepts, they'll definitely go with lots and lots of enthusiasm and the brightness I could able to see. So this is science, and also there was a lots of visitors going to come. And one of the incident I remember, like there was one IITian was visited. Like she was mentioning that if I would have learned a science like this, I would have definitely done much better in my IIT examination. And that was a beauty of a science. Like I should not forget about this. And also here, like Dilip sir is also with me. He has joined now. Like he's also going to conduct a lot of experiment, like dissection of the organs, and also the like many biological things we can go with simulations also, but out of his own interest he'll come with like lots of demonstrations, like his curiosity and passion, as he has rightly mentioned, like definitely a passionate teacher can do a lot many things. So that's as a closing remark, the only thing you can contribute is like love your job like anything, and love your students and make them to go crazy, and you will
Right. So
definitely
this actually reminds me of this line, right? So do what you love or love what you do. So I think that's very, very important. I also want to thank Mr. Dilip. I think though he spoke for a very short time, I think he touched that very important note of being passionate about the subject before you get into teaching it. I think that's very, very essential, and I think that's the basic, right? Sometimes what we do is we become so engrossed in getting into advanced methodologies and advanced things that we tend to forget the basic, right? So I think though Dilip sir, you spoke for a very short period, but I think what you spoke, or those two sentences that you said is actually the foundation for the entire session. I think that was the foundation. So thank you so much for sharing that insight. And yes, sir. So you were saying something?
Yeah, class Sati, I'm very much thankful to both. We are both are thankful to you, like for providing us an opportunity to share our own work and insights to all the teachers present over here. We definitely, I hope, like I haven't, like I've just given a justice to the time they have spent here. There are at least 1 or 2 points they'll definitely take with them and make a difference in their teaching career also. So that
Definitely,
was,
definitely.
I would like to highlight, and I thank class Sati also.
Thank you,
Thank
sir. Thank you so much. I wish all of you have a good evening and a good weekend. So yes, so we come to the end right now. And yes, so Ranjana and I would like to thank all of you for spending your precious time with us during this session today. Thank you so much, sir. Looking forward to have more sessions with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.